everyone. I just got back this weekend from the Vintage Computer Festival Midwest at the Renaissance Schaumburg Convention Center, and this was the first year that I hosted my own display or exhibit, I guess you could call it. My setup was essentially just for fun because it was featuring two of my machines, the 486 DX250 that was running with a turbo button at 25 megahertz because I was running Wing Commander 1 and 2 on it. And then I was also running Wing Commander 3 and 4 on my Pentium 200 machine. And I had a corner area within this massive convention center that had plenty of space. So I ended up deciding to decorate it as well. And I put out flowers and things to kind of match my Retro Alcove logo, which I'll put right there to kind of show the comparison. But I had a whole bunch of people come up and kind of thank me for taking the time to decorate my booth, they were calling it. I really appreciate the positive feedback for the extra effort I put into that with my friend Beth. She was a big help helping me sort that out and think through what I wanted to do. Yeah, especially I had a bunch of women come up to me and just kind of say, thank you for bringing some color to the event, because the default or kind of static tables that everyone had were just black tablecloths. And I'm not saying I was the only one. There were people who brought white, brighter color tablecloths and things like that, and people who stacked their displays really high, which was very cool. So a lot of people did put in a bunch of effort on it, but I think mine was the only one with pink tablecloths, and I'm glad it kind of went off well and was aesthetically pleasing to a lot of people. I talked to so many of you who were in attendance there, and it was just, I don't know, it was wonderful because I'm not a person who speaks up a ton in social situations where there's a lot of people. I'm good with small groups and a decent sized group even, but when it comes to being kind of on the entire time and standing at an exhibit and talking to people, I don't know, this was like different because it's my people. It's people who share this hobby with me and share a love for everything retro. I mean, I grew up with this stuff. My room is still kind of destroyed and taken apart. My lights are off back there because my power center, I brought that as one of the things I needed. Some highlights of the weekend. I will also be mentioning some of these during the walkthrough that I filmed. I got to meet in person Veronica from Veronica Explains and her family, which was amazing. Taylor and Amy I already knew and considered them friends. We had exchanged numbers last year and had been kind of keeping in touch throughout the year. And we planned to make sure we had time to hang out this time, and we did. They even invited me up to their hotel suite where the Stop Bits were practicing for their band debut this past weekend, which was incredible. They had a packed room at the Renaissance Convention Center, and they sang 8 songs that they wrote themselves. I believe Taylor was the primary writer for a lot of them. Taylor, Amy, Veronica, and Sean from Action Retro, Sean walked in the hotel room suite where they were going to be practicing, and I introduced myself and asked what his name was because it's so funny when, you see people in person who you've seen on YouTube and other things, and I just wasn't expecting him to walk in. I thought it was a friend who played music that they had in the band. So my brain had a preconceived notion of who was walking in with them, and that's why I just didn't recognize him. So I feel bad because he had to explain that he oh, I do YouTube, or somebody else did for him. I don't even remember. I had a hard cider or two at that point, but it was incredible hanging out with them in the hotel suite and just being included and being welcomed into that situation I'm really grateful. So thank you all. I love everyone that was in that room that just kind of brought me in, and I'm lucky. So Saturday, I thankfully got up early enough to get myself ready. For me, it's an extra 2 hours. Make sure I was all set and ready. And anyway, I walked in there and got behind my exhibit, and I was there pretty much for the entire time, standing there, sitting down once in a great while. So my feet were just absolutely killing me at the end of this, because I stood for so long. It took me literally like a day and a half when I got home to just recover, because there's also the hauling everything in and hauling it out, and I did all that myself. I did have the help of a cart, thankfully, but not for the entire haul in or haul out. I was able to acquire one halfway through each of those. So kudos, by the way, to the organizers of this event, because that room was so well planned out. I thought the table layout was very cool. It kept people interested. It was kind of a snaking type of approach instead of just tables, and it was just so cool to walk through there too as an observer. That I spent time doing that with my GoPro and took footage that I'll be showing here in a little bit. I had a bunch of interactions with people some who had seen my content, who had seen my Twitch channel for years, apparently. I signed one autograph. Somebody asked me for an autograph, which was really kind of cool and humbling. And I don't know, I signed the cover of a retro magazine that they had bought, and thankfully I had practiced a signature, because when I went to CitizenCon in LA, somebody asked me for an autograph, and I had done the same thing just in case. And so on both occasions, one person asked me, but hey, it's, it was a good feeling. When it comes to how people liked the computers I brought, and the fact they could play Wing Commander, I think was really cool, because a whole lot of people brought kids with them, and they let their kids sit down and try it, and they were explaining that and that tone of their voice was like they were really enjoying talking to them about the fact that they used to spend hours and hours playing Wing Commander 2, especially walking their child through how to do the flying, and it was great. I love the Wing Commander series. I'm a huge fan of Chris Roberts, and basically all he's done, and I, of course, Star Citizen now. I'm huge into that world, and will continue to be for a long period of time. I kind of wish he could have seen the reactions of some of these people when they walked up to a period accurate machine showing Wing Commander 2, and just that nostalgia that they felt, and kind of that instant, like, dropping their guard a little bit to tell me how cool it was to see that. And it was awesome. I'm gonna do this every year from now on, and try and get tables like I did, and I'll be bringing different stuff each time. Like, I won't be repeating that display, most likely. It'll be more focused on probably a project that I'm working on at the time, or something like that. But yeah, this is the first year that I brought enough for my own 2 tables, and in prior years I would share space with Joshua and Aaron, who run the OS2 table usually, and they have Tandy stuff too that they would put out. But this year they have brought back Free Geek Chicago. They are part of the team doing that, and they had tons of stuff for sale, and they were next to me. They're in my neighbor. And in prior years, though, I would share space and just have like a little tiny section for one machine, and that was enough. That was still taking part, still getting my feet wet with talking to people there and enjoying the show on a different level. And so I'm grateful to them for helping me kind of slowly get comfortable enough to do this in a bigger way. And I just want to thank all those people who stopped at my exhibit and decided to talk to me and thank me for bringing it, because there's definitely some effort involved there. There's effort in hooking everything back up. I had this place wired so well with like the wires behind things and those foam things, and taking all that off to be able to bring it to the show was you're kind of frustrated they have to redo something like that you had so perfect, but it's worth it. I mean, it was great. Let's see, what else did I want to mention? Other YouTubers that I talked to, I don't want to say I know Adrian Black, but Adrian Black and I have now seen each other at, this is the third show where I've gotten to talk to him. The first one, it was just a quick introduce myself, tell him that his channel was inspirational in me starting my channel. It's funny how our names, Ariana and Adrian, and he's got Adrian's Digital Basement and I have Ariana's Retro Alcove, which is now considered the Retro Alcove with my new logo and everything. Yeah, I've been posting videos since 2021, using that name too for my playlists and everything. A big part of that was during the pandemic, finding Adrian's videos and then being inspired to do more with my retro collection. And when you see somebody doing things step by step and doing it almost like a teacher would in his long form videos, that impact is huge. And he's helped tons of people, I think, be more comfortable with fixing their own machines, keeping them going. So Adrian, love you and thank you so much for what you do for the community. And so that was the first year I just introduced myself. Last year I talked to him, showed him the IC programmer, the Ferret chip programmer that I brought for display that I still haven't repaired, but I'm gonna work on. And he loved it. He thought it was really cool, and he said it would probably be really handy once it's fixed. I also gave him one of my Swedish hard ciders to drink that year. And what was funny was after the Stop Bits, the band I mentioned earlier, played their show on Saturday night, Adrian was there and I had brought celebration drinks for the band. So I was trying to hand them off to whoever wanted one, and Adrian was there too to just kind of converse with them and congratulate them. And I said, I have those Swedish hard ciders again, do you want one? And I ended up giving a drink to Ron from Ron's Computer Videos as well. He was helping them set up at the beginning. So yeah, it's, I don't know, just a lot of little memories that I'm trying to recall now to convey to you all. But you just really got to go to one of these if you haven't gone. And the Midwest one is massive and it is a great one to go to. The organizers there, like I said, this was their first time in this huge venue and they nailed it. They did such a good job. So a million golf claps to them. And Jason and everybody involved with that, you're awesome. I wish I knew more of the names. I haven't met a lot of that team, but yeah, it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed myself and I have no complaints at all about that location or about my experience there. The hotel staff was great. My room was great. I enjoyed where I was staying. The wait staff too at the in-hotel restaurant was good and they were very nice. So what else? I also got to meet the Macintosh librarian. She is incredibly sweet, and she's another person who walked up to my booth and I didn't recognize her right away. She's literally holding the little Mac with the eyeballs on it, and it was staring at me. And I'm just gonna be brutally honest here. I was taken aback because she was gorgeous and adorable, and my brain did not say this is a YouTuber. It just said what are we going to talk about? Like, it was so, I don't know. I didn't try to think about who is she, or, you know, anything like that. It was just, I was in that mode of people are coming up to me constantly, and I'm trying to do a million things at once and make sure I make everyone feel welcome at my exhibit there. And so I botched another one, meeting a YouTuber, and I treated her like I didn't know who she was, because at the moment I didn't recognize her, but I have of course seen some of her videos. I am not a Macintosh person, so I don't have any in my collection at all. Well, that's not true. I have one blue iMac, because there's a story behind how I have that. But again, I'm sorry to you, Macintosh librarian, for not recognizing you at the start there, but you're amazing and your content is very entertaining. And I'm looking forward to seeing the YouTubers panel, because I was still working my exhibit during that, so I didn't get to see you all in that. Anyway, I apologize to her profusely. I felt awful. She was of course extremely graceful, because I don't think she has a big ego or anything like that. I think she's just as sweet as she appears to be, and yeah. Please be my friend. Anyway, I'm sweating here now after talking about that, because that really embarrassed me after thinking about it later. It's one of those moments in my life I'm going to think about over and over and over again, about how I should have handled it differently. So I feel bad. What is this video about at this point? Okay, let's roll my walkthrough footage. So here is my display with information about Wing Commander, just showing some facts about why it was important, why it drove people to constantly upgrade their stuff. With each new version that came out, it seemed like Chris Roberts was determined to make everyone buy new hardware. Thankfully, lots of people scooped up all of the swag I brought, the stickers, the coasters, and I ran out of them all by like 4 or 5 p.m. on Saturday, which I could not believe. I had some older stickers and things that I had in reserve to put out on Sunday. And yeah, the flowers I found ended up looking pretty good to match my logo, and it was lots of fun. There's the free pile. I think everyone in their walkthrough videos is showing this, so I cut through it here, didn't show the whole thing. I love retro audio stuff too, by the way. I have an Emerson, much older record player, and I'm trying to put together a whole little system. From Ecotronics here, I did end up buying a case, and let's see if we can see it. It is the one with the opening where the drive bays would be, right there at the bottom. Or it's on the table, sorry, underneath that other unit. That's the one I took home for $10 only. I talked him down from $20. So that'll be in a future video of putting together a machine. And lots of different stuff to look through, and almost too much. It's overwhelming. And in my own walkthrough reviewing this, there are cases I wish I would have seen, like my eyeballs just glazed over them, that I would have been interested in asking about to see how much they were charging for it, and maybe take home. You'll kind of notice as I film this this footage. I do try and show the signs people brought with the web addresses, so you know, if any of you want to look these things up, hopefully you can see how to get to them, like bonuslifecomputers.com there. The sign there, anything of interest, make an offer. That is definitely one of the things that's fun about the show is, you know, sort of just being able to kind of make an offer on things and potentially talk people down from certain prices. But, you know, there's some bartering going on, and people do make trades even at these things rather than straight up cash purchases. Look at this massive hall. It's so cool. The VIC-20s. I freaking love the VIC-20. My first machine ever. Leisure Suit Larry. There's a particular case coming up right here with those like up, down, left, and right cursor buttons. I was very curious what that was. I meant to come back and look at it more and totally forgot because that looked really cool. Oh, and there's June up there walking by, also looking around. June is from Nibbles and Bites, of course. You should go check out her channel. She also developed a game and brought that to this show. It is for a Commodore 128 though, using dual monitors, which I unfortunately do not have yet. But once I do, I will definitely be looking at getting her game. And from my perspective, this was kind of the back side of the table area that I was in. You can see my pink tablecloths on the left there. I didn't realize you had so many 486 chips. That's cool.
What's that?
I didn't realize you had so many 486 chips. That's cool.
Yeah, there's everything in there.
That's awesome.
And about 10 times that thing.
Oh, really? These guys were great. I chatted with them quite a bit because they were my direct neighbors, and I ended up buying a bunch of CPUs from them, some 486s and a Pentium. So future builds from stuff I bought from my neighbors. So that's gonna be fun. And right here you'll see the Pico Gus display. I ended up buying one of those after the show last year. I had it mailed to me. I didn't buy it at the show, but I still have not put it in anything yet, but I'm going to, obviously. I have several machines that would work well with it, and I'm looking forward to enjoying getting it going and hearing how it sounds on a bunch of different games. Some of these terminals were so cool looking. Made me think of the show Loki with all of the retro stuff that they put into the aesthetic there at the TVA. As a bunch of people have mentioned, this telephone area, they somehow set up a massive telephone network to connect a bunch of the tables. I brought an old phone, so people were able to call my table. Hello. Doing good. Finally got to walk away from my table for a little bit.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Welcome out.
Yeah, thanks. There's something about that Epson keyboard. I just want it. No real reason why, just want it. After last year, I always meant to start looking into apricots, which you're about to see here. And I still haven't really delved into that rabbit hole of the retro community. But they look really cool, and I love the monitors on each of these machines here. I truly do not know much about these. I kind of missed the boat on all those. Oh, there is one of the Naboo boxes likely from Computer Reset. I don't know if that's where these people got it, but I do not have anything, to my knowledge, from Computer Reset. It's crazy to see so many AT&T PC6300s because there was 2 years ago. I think I had the only one at the show. And now I saw, I think, something like 7 at the show this time. Not that I started a trend, it's just funny how from year to year people decide to bring different things, I think. I love bulletin board systems, BBSs. Back when I worked at Electronics Boutique, I used to connect to one every night and play Trade Wars. And yeah, so when I see signs about bulletin board systems at the shows, I try and pause on them so you can find and connect to them too if you want. Just install Telnet on your Windows machine or enable it. It's already kind of there as part of the install. You just have to turn it on usually, and then you can connect using Telnet to a bulletin board system. You can also download things like Synchronet. Here's a whole great list of ones to try, and I'm going to be doing these in a future video. Seeing which ones I can connect to, and it's so funny that it looks like the Atari 800XL is there, because that's what I used to use a lot too. We had an 800XL and a 2400 baud modem. Actually, it might have been 1200 at the time. I was on Prodigy when it was in its infancy with my dad. I'm lucky to have grown up when I did. The gentleman with the bandana here that you see, I ended up buying some things from him. I bought 2 power centers and 5 USB memory sticks. There they are over there, by the way, the power centers.
Very cool.
Curious what that device on the ground there was. I couldn't really tell. Another thing I meant to come back and look closer at. Almost looked like a CB radio, but I know it wasn't. And again, the telephone network I mentioned earlier. You can see somebody dialing here and making calls to some of the other tables, I think. Someone called me on my table, didn't know a person would answer, and then hung up really quickly. They were freaked out. It was funny. Because most people brought modems to hook up, but with the machines I brought, I wasn't planning on doing that. I just figured there might be another table I wanted to call. Oh, and here's replicas of the Apple One. For $20, you can set one up for yourself. At least that's the show price anyway. But BreelComputers.com, go check that out. It's really cool. And we're coming up here on one of the modem related projects that I ended up getting last year that I haven't done anything with yet, but I cannot wait. I really want to get this built and start using it, and you'll hear we start talking about it.
Do you have any questions?
Actually, I bought one from you last year.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's still on my to-do list for a video, but I'm going to do it. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I got the case finally too and everything, so
Fantastic.
yeah. Find one. So, is this a new one for the?
So this
different
just
model?
came out. Well, not came out. I just literally 2 days before I left for this, it came in the mail. And it's the new version. So this is the modem I kind of grew up with, but this is the modem a lot of people used. And so they asked me, people were saying you should do one, so I did one. I just didn't finish it in time. And so in like a month or two, it'll be up on the website. And then I was telling people, if you're interested in buying one, just reach out in a couple months, take a picture of this page so you have my contact. But if you send me your badge, I'll give you the show price on the new modem once it comes out.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
I was very excited to see some laser 128 machines here. I ended up talking to him about it because I am looking to kind of restore what I used to have.
Have you had many people look at this?
I'm sorry?
Have you had many people look at that? Yeah.
I've had a couple.
A couple.
We've had a few people look over about it so far. We had 3 of these originally.
I've got one at home, but it's just the 128, not the EX. So, yeah. And I grew up with the EX though. And the only one I could find on eBay that wasn't completely overpriced was the 128.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Cool.
You'll notice I don't say a lot about Macintosh machines because, again, I'm not a Mac person. Never really got into them. I was IBM and PC clone all the way after leaving, the 8-bit era of Commodores and Atari. I did have an Apple IIe And I also, well, I currently have an Apple IIe, and I had the Laser 128, and I love the Laser 128. But when it came to Macintosh, I kind of never really went down that road. I had them at school, of course, and interacted with them at school, but for home computers, it was always IBM and PCs. Very impressed someone hauled in one of these massive IBM machines. The stickers here show which one I'm talking about. It's the IBM 1130. I think it's around the corner somewhere. We'll see it. And here it is. Makes me think of the Whopper from War Games, but obviously that was even bigger.
You know what? I saw a Cybertruck today. It looks even worse in real life.
Yeah, the redesign they had to do to make it like one. When they advertised this, I'm a photographer. Yeah. They said this would do panoramic photos. No way. They never did. Next model, yeah, it does. And also,
And here you can see, I think it's the IBM 5630 or 5360, but yeah, Mobatch. I don't know how they got this thing in here. Lots of hard work, and it was so cool to see it writing to disk there, or reading from. If you ever need a keyboard, you can definitely find one at these shows. Forgot machines back there. Love the googly eyes. And some awesome terminals with just amazing keyboards and the colors. I love it. It's so fun to just use one of those, like a converted one, to work on. Go check out the Forgotten Machines channel on YouTube. Galileo, so cool. I didn't want to disturb these guys, but there's so much cool stuff to look at on this display. End up having a conversation here because, well, you'll hear. I have tons of ICs for 1970s, like telecom type stuff.
questions?
I'm just doing a general walkthrough right now, but
With
actually,
you gotta have a multi-card.
on some of these older, are these
It's,
like from the 70s?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I
That's the
thought.
one that
'Cause I actually,
you got all your Studio 3, Studio 4.
I went
you got,
to
like, advanced program.
this guy in the south part of Chicago. He had an entire engineering department like dump a ton of chips and stuff on
Oh
him.
man.
And I gave him $200 for like a massive pallet worth of stuff, and I have a whole lot of chips that I think go with a lot of the stuff. Believe it or
wow.
not. So,
So
yeah.
like ceramic chips and
Yeah.
stuff?
So-
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. Most of them look like this with the RCA, and I was, I'm still going through looking them up to
This
see what they
game
were
is called
originally for,
Speedway
because I'm not even
Tag.
sure. So,
And it was written by Joseph
Hey,
Weisbeck,
there's
his
some
daughter.
like goodies in there.
I know, yeah. Do you have a
Joyce
card or
Weisbeck.
in case?
And
I can give you my email address or
Okay.
if you want.
Well, just in case I find stuff that's like I don't
That's
know.
RCA based?
Yeah,
I
or
was there with all my
I don't. Maybe I have a card on me.
Okay.
Like if you wanna buy them and know what they are for, like I'm not necessarily gonna use them, so
Right,
I don't know.
Okay, well, there are RCA chips in the lot. Some of them are very valuable.
actually stole it from
Yeah,
Okay.
so like
That's
rare
what-
and valuable. Yeah.
That's why I was telling him, don't throw it away. Let me go. I'll just grab it and save it and see what happens.
That's
So.
a very good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but it was mostly telecom chips. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Never use with round markers like this. Like a round marker with a component input or was component after the flat screen. I don't know for sure, but I'm going to venture an educated guess. No. Component was never done on CRT, only flat screen.
And right here you'll see a wonderful recreation of the time computer from Back to the Future. Gotta love it. You know, looking back over this footage, I want to press those big red buttons so badly on those IBMs. Such a satisfying power switch. I can see myself.
I'm good. Just doing a general walkthrough.
And there's Mac84. Definitely check out that YouTube channel if you somehow haven't seen that yet. Mac84.net if you saw the web address as well. And we're coming up on Ron's computer videos section here. Ron wasn't there at the moment, but he is awesome. I love Ron. He actually interviewed me for his channel, so there is an interview with me on one of his recent videos. I love seeing Heroes of Might and Magic 3 there as well. I, of course, played that on Twitch an awful lot back in the day. And here we have Adrian's digital basement, his table. It's got the Ziff 64 there, that's famous from his channel. The field found Commodore 64 that he got working again. His candy that he always has people sending in to him. And there's the dead parts bin and Rammy, all these things that if you know, you know when it comes to watching Adrian's digital basement. I love his channel, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, he's a big inspiration of mine. I love these clear case and acrylic case machines. I definitely want to do one on at least one of my beloved 8-bit era machines at some point. There's another web address to check out, 8bitstuff.com, and then I think it's 8bitties on the other side here. 8bitties.com. And here I just wanted to show the cassette players, recorders for 8-bit computers. I have a couple of those. I have the ones that were typically for the Commodore VIC-20 and 64. I do like the oval window ones. And then I also do have an Atari 410. I think that's the Dash 410. I like the blue keys on the Commodore 64 there too. I have a project coming up where I'm going to be changing keys out on one of my machines. So that'll be on the channel sometime in the next month or so, maybe. Oh, and this stand was really cool. I ended up buying some artwork, some stickers here, and I'll show those at the end when I show my swag and stuff I took home. I do love that Atari display. And right here I spot this case on the ground that I was tempted to buy, but after seeing the inside it had more rust in it than I wanted to deal with, so I did not purchase it. And here we have all the swag I brought home. That those Tandy retro computer stickers were from my friend Neil. He walked up and handed those to me. There's my badge. There's the Galaxy S24 phone I had to buy on the way home because my phone screen of my 10E suddenly died at the show. I bought those 5 USB memory sticks there. There's the Atari BBS card, Macintosh Librarian. These are the stickers, the artwork that I bought from Melissa Barron. There's her address if you want to check out her artwork. It was awesome. And there's tons of the examples of things I was giving away. The IBM 1130, I think that is. Someone took a picture of me and and gave that to me. So there's a lot more to come on both my Twitch and YouTube channels. YouTube will always be where it's more retro focused with the retro alcove playlist on my channel. but Twitch is where you can see me playing a lot of Star Citizen and playing retro games. When it comes to tech hardware, fixing things, I'm going to be doing more of a breakdown of each machine and why I love that machine and why it's in my collection, because most of them have a sentimental value for me, because I spent time on them growing up. And so that's all going to be coming. If you are just seeing this for the first time and you don't know it, there is now a Retro Alcove website that you can go visit. It is retroalcove.com, and that is going to be where I have sort of my library of videos laid out in a way that is really easy to find what you want to see, rather than just hoping the algorithm on YouTube feeds you things. So please go check out retroalcove.com. And my main website will always be MaidenAriana.com. And there are links, of course, back to Retro Alcove. Very briefly, one of the other things I've been working on so hard that has taken up a lot of my time and away from filming retro content is Star Citizen. Star Citizen is a game that I developed. It is a game for Twitch chat, where you enter Twitch chat commands while somebody is streaming, and on the stream, the streamer has an overlay as part of Star Citizen that shows little ships going across the screen doing cargo runs, being a pirate, being a smuggler, a trader, I already said that, being, you could be a security officer protecting traders, duels if you want for just straight up combat. Starbitizen.com is the website. So that's a third website of mine, and I create all these websites myself. So I am a very busy bee, I guess you could say. And I think that'll do it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed going through the Vintage Computer Festival with me. I do my best to try and get good footage of everything as if you're there yourself, so I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed my stories at the start of the video. I know we talked for quite a while, but it was so much fun. And I'm sorry this video took long to get out, but I was dealing with a health issue this month, and I finally got to it. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and join my channel. There's a lot more to come, and I'm really excited to get back into the swing of editing videos and getting everything out there for you all. There's so much I can do with all this, with this collection, and things are still a little disheveled as I'm putting everything back together and rewiring everything, but it's all going to be coming soon to my channel. So see you next time. Thanks. Bye, everybody.